I would hate to be famous. No privacy. Random people who think they're entitled to autographs can't enjoy being out in public. It's such a double-edged sword. The money wouldn't be worth it. I like being a random nobody. Only narcissists want to be famous. Yeah, I grew up in LA and I never ask for autographs from celebrities anymore. One time Michael Jackson was in a Sam Goodies, when that was still a thing, and they had to close the store so he could shop in it alone, and outside there was a crowd of probably 200 people just standing outside just waiting for him to leave. When he did, he was immediately surrounded with people basically all over him wanting an autograph. Luckily his bodyguards were there, until he got in his car. It was sad. I'm definitely not famous by any stretch, but I do get recognized on occasion for hosting a cooking show. It impacts decision I make, like where I can work. I work in restaurants, where I can go out to eat. Lord forbid someone catches me indulging in fast food, and how I present myself in public. I cannot imagine the entire new hell someone with actual fame has to live with. I wanna be a silent billionaire. We always hear about Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, but what about the other like 2,000 billionaires? You don't really hear from them nearly as much. That's what I want, tons of money with not a lot of fame. Switch to Daft Punk mode. Fame is always associated with a face. You can also be relatively poor and famous. Worst of both worlds. And how embarrassing if you were famous and low on money and needed a job, and because of your lack of experience, you have to work at a customer service based job knowing that everyone will recognize you. I wouldn't be able to handle the fact that I'd be judged for every little thing I do. Not to mention the paparazzi who would constantly stalk you every waking moment of your life. I actually didn't think this was very unpopular until looking at the comments. I really do not see the appeal for being famous. Mingo said it best, I'd rather be rich than famous. I'd only want to be famous enough to be admired by few, rather than be known worldwide. But I would rather not be famous at all. I was in a pretty well-known band about 16 years ago. At first, it's really nice. Every bar in town, someone comes to say hi. Walking around, people talk about last week's show. Pretty much everywhere you go, you run into someone that knows you. Then it gets really fucking awkward. Because they expect you to remember their names. Look, I met like 40 people at the last show. And the week before. And the week before. It puts you on the spot. And it sucks because I may recognize you, but I don't remember every single thing we said last time you were at a show. I would sometimes go to chain restaurants like Applebee's to have a beer, because the hipster spots. Can't get any peace. Certainly can't have a date. This was only on a small scale. Like, not even a whole state. I can't imagine what it's like for that to happen on a huge scale. Like nationally. Or worldwide. So, unpopular opinion. Unless you've lived it. One of my favorite quotes of all time is from Jim Carrey. I wish everyone could get rich and famous and everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that's not the answer. Interesting take on fame by Rob Lowe on Joe Rogan's podcast. He basically said being famous in the 80s pre-internet was awesome. The wow factor was off the chain when he walked into a room. People literally reached to touch him like he was some kind of god. Nowadays everyone leans in and looks away to take a goddamn selfie to flaunt to their friends. Famous people can't, according to RL, even go out and get drunk and have fun like most people because they get filmed all the time. Back in the 80s it was telling stories. Now it's recording videos. Totally different. You can be found when missing. I've always wanted to be the bass player for someone like Joe Satriani, Eric Clapton, or someone like that. I can kinda bask in the fame while being on stage, but nobody will remember me since I'm just in the back playing bass. The only people who would actually know me would most likely be someone I'd care to interact with. I would love to have a lot of wealth and of that nature, but fame is something that can potentially make you a target and in general is pretty bad. Marlon Brando said if he could have made the same money digging ditches, he would have stuck with it. It's just like being the quiet kid in class. Why does everyone online want more followers? More likes? I will never ever understand this culture of wanting constant attention by any means possible. I just want 99,999% of people to leave me alone. I'll take the money, but I'd rather be the puppet master than the puppet. I judge myself and all my past cringe moments enough. No need for the public to weigh in. I agree, but only narcissists want to be famous. No. What about people who want to be a good influence on kids or people in general? What about musicians who base their whole life on music or their instrument and just want a bit of recognition? What about actors who pursue their career since middle school and are blown away by the projects they get to participate on? Exactly a case of I hate it. I don't wanna be famous anymore, is with a voice actor at Super Planet Dolan from 4 years ago. Her name was Shimaluan, and basically she was loved by many, but of course lots of people made porn of her and she wasn't happy with it, and a lot of stalkers, and she got an info leak which made her leave completely. Everyone turned into a like beggar like if you miss shima. And tons of people that got so obsessed with this case that they created theories about her disappearance. I too miss her voice, it was relaxing, but holy crap, people chill out. Basically, you are famous, people will stalk you and try their best to get your info and dox you, and if you are attractive they'll leave very unsettling messages and PMS along NSFW art. Leaving will also cause lots of drama and you'll see the true face of your fans, which will make you leave for good. Huge bonus points for celebrities that once quit will not come back. This usually causes a lot of unnecessary drama, because they realize the beautiful world of being famous is